Howdy, Sunny Sheriff here. Sorry for the strange sounds in the background over there, but like normal, the window is still open. I'm gonna try to do a second episode of gun mistakes. As I've been trying to do before each video, I want to encourage any viewer that can support the channel to please go check my Patreon, GoFundMe, and the Facebook page that are supposed to be linked in the description. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to link all three, so 2 at minimum will be there. So please go check it out, and thank you to all or any of the people that are involved in that already. Now, I know I made a video of this theme before, but I didn't want to have to work so hard to make that same style, so I'm just gonna talk this time, just simcom like I normally do. Now, I'm hoping that I've not used any of these clips in the previous video that I was talking about, but hopefully you guys will know the scenes that I'm referring to. The first one is from the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. And pardon me if I spelled that wrong. I think I spelled it right, but I don't know for sure. The scene that I'm referring to is the first time we see Buster in a Western style duel. He's facing the brother of the man he killed in the saloon. Now, what he does in that duel is not necessarily bad. Obviously, he's using a Colt single action army because that's the most common gun for Westerns to use. So I'm using this as my style for that because this is obvious you can't shoot anything. So in that scene, the two men are facing off at each other. I'm going to shorten the names to Brother and Buster. Buster asks if Brother needed a count, which would never happen in real life. But okay, for a movie it works. He says no, he does not. So Buster's immediate response is to pull, cock, fire, and shoot off the trigger finger. I actually think he cut it off right there. But anyway, he then proceeds to shoot off all the other fingers. because he says it's hard to trigger, which was actually the correct word to use in that situation. So I'm kind of surprised that he picked the right word. But anyway, with the other fingers, meaning that's how it's normally done. But if the person is wanting to do it bad enough, you can. It's just so hard, it's almost pointless. And then if you do the other ones, I've never tried to do it with this finger. You can see just how awful it would be to do that. Because if you're actually firing live ammo like this, you cock the hammer back and grab it. The instant you pull the trigger, it's just gonna flip. So there's not much of a chance that he really needed to bang, 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 bang. He just did it to make himself look really skilled in aiming. Then he had a 6th bullet. So what does he do? He decides, I'm going to turn around and shoot him dead like this. Many of you probably have already found out what I'm about to say. That would never work. First problem is he was using a mirror. Yeah, that would never work. Second problem is the cylinder poof, or whatever you want to call it. When you fire, a bunch of gas goes from here. So, how exactly did Buster plan for his face not to be when he has it here? Realistically, his cheek right here and maybe his ear should have been when he fired. Okay, so that's his first mistake. Or, excuse me, that was his big mistake. The second scene that I'm going to refer to is from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Excuse me a moment.
A few moments later.
No, you would be the good, he's the ugly, I'm the bad.
Okay.
Sorry. Mom says that she's the good. She started to say that Dad was the bad, and then she wrote, wait a minute. So I had to clarify. Anyway, so in the possibly the most famous scene in that movie, when the three stink it, Clint Eastwood, Tuco, and whatever the third guy's name was. His real name is Lee Van Cleef. I don't know how to spell that. They're having the 3-man standoff. Excuse me. Now, if you watch the full scene, you find out that Clint removed Tuco's ammo from his gun. So Clint knew exactly who he needed to shoot before he started. But there's a tiny problem with that idea. The two people that should not have just guessed, Tuco and Clint. And yes, I'm not trying to not show him respect. It's just doing CE. It's hard to sign that clearly. And I don't want to have to spell the full name every time. So I'm just calling him his first name right now because it's more easy for the signing capability. I love his movies, his acting, So I have the utmost respect for him. I just prefer not to have to spell his full name every time I use it verbally. So anyway, Clint's mistake was assuming that Tuco did not think to check his gun. Let me explain. He told Tuco that he removed the ammo from his gun the night before. What's to say that Tuco was not like me and checking his guns every couple hours to make sure that there's ammo in them? He doesn't know that. Tuco could have possibly realized, I thought I had ammo in here, and put bullets back in the gun between the time that he met him and the time that he removed the ammo. He doesn't know. He just guessed it. And then at the same time, the way that the situation happened, Tuco blindly guessed that his gun was the same way that he remembered it the night before. Never assume your gun has ammo. Which is kind of funny because that's the exact opposite of what the rule of gun safety is. The rule of gun safety is always behave like the gun has ammo in it. And this thing I'm saying is don't assume that the gun has ammo in it. So I sound like I'm trying to make a rule that's opposite of the rule of gun safety. What I'm basically saying is if you have a gun, check and make sure if it has ammo or not. Don't guess one way or the other. No. And I was planning to add more than just 2 scenes, but I got a little bit into the video, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Hopefully I'll add another episode, and yes, I don't know if there's a sign for that word or not. I'll try to find out later, but hopefully you all enjoyed the video. And I will see you in the next video, and happy trails.